Do you ever feel like you're fighting ghosts? You argue against a bad idea, two more pop up. You see the rage, the confusion, the hostility like what we saw accumulated in the martyrdom of Charlie Kirk. And you wonder, where is all this coming from? It doesn't feel entirely human. You're right, it isn't. We spend so much of our time fighting the symptoms, the political battles, the social decay, the moral chaos. But we are losing because we have misidentified the enemy. We are fighting a ground war when the real attack is coming in the air. Today we look behind the curtain. We expose the unseen war because unless we fight the real enemy, we will never win. The Apostle Paul gives us the most crucial piece of intelligence ever recorded for this battle. In Ephesians 6, verse 12, he writes, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places." Read that again. Our struggle is not against people. The person screaming at you online, activists trying to get you fired, the politician promoting a godless agenda, they're not your ultimate enemy. They are captives. They are casualties in a war they don't even know is happening, mobilized by an enemy they cannot see. The intense, irrational rage directed at someone like Charlie Kirk wasn't just a disagreement over policy. It was the hatred of a spiritual kingdom of darkness for a man who was speaking the light of truth. When you understand this, everything changes. You stop seeing people as targets and start seeing them as captives in need of liberation. Your goal shifts from winning an argument to breaking a spiritual stronghold. These spiritual forces are not random. They have specific strategies, or what we can call spirits of the age, designed to dismantle God's creation. Let's name three of those of the most powerful ones at work today. 1. The spirit of confusion. This spirit's goal is to destroy distinction. It whispers that there's no difference between male and female, good and evil, truth and lies. It attacks reality itself, making people feel like they are going crazy. It can destroy the very definition of a human being. It can destroy humanity. Number 2, the spirit of rebellion. This spirit despises all authority. It tells us that freedom is the absence of all restraint. It fuels the rejection of parents, the church, the law, and ultimately God Himself. It promises liberation but delivers only chaos and bondage. Number 3, the spirit of fear. This is the enemy's primary weapon against the church. It paralyzes us. It whispers, "Stay silent or you'll lose your job. Don't speak up or you'll lose your friends. Keep your faith private or they will come for you." It seeks to neutralize God's army before we ever step into the battlefield. Put a comment below on which spirit you see the most: fear, confusion, or rebellion. God has not left us defenseless against these spirits. He has given us spiritual armor, and we need to learn how to use it in this modern war. The belt of truth. In a world of my truth, this is our anchor. We buckle objective biblical truth around our waist. It holds everything else together and protects us from being deceived by the spirit of confusion. The breastplate of righteousness. This guards our heart. When the world tempts us to fight with its weapons, with rage, slander, and hatred, this breastplate protects our character. It reminds us that we fight for God's righteousness and we must fight with God's righteousness. The shield of faith. This is your active defense against the flaming arrows of today, the arrow of cancellation attempt, the arrow of slanderous news article, the arrow being called a bigot. By faith, you extinguish their power to wound or intimidate you. The sword of the Spirit. This is our only offensive weapon, the Word of God. It is not a clumsy club. It is a sharp sword used to dismantle the lies of the enemy. When the spirit of confusion attacks, we wield the truth of Genesis 1:27. When the spirit of fear attacks, we wield the promise of 2 Timothy 1:7. It is time for the church to wake up. We are not in a culture war. We are in a spiritual war that has cultural consequences. This requires us to become wartime Christians. It means our prayer life can't be a casual afterthought. It must be strategic war counsel. It means our Bible reading can't be sentimental devotion. It must be the study of our weapon and our commanding officer's orders. We must consistently and daily put on the full armor of God. If you know this is true, but you feel unequipped for the battle, that is the entire purpose of the Courage Code. It is a 14-day spiritual boot camp designed to train you in these very things, to know the Word, to be led by the Spirit, and to put on the full armor of God so you can stand firm. The link is below. Stop fighting ghosts. Start fighting the real war, the real spiritual weapons, and claim the victory that has already been won.